G'day everyone, this is a follow-up video from the last video I did about the roller rockers turning into spring compressors. And I got a reply now from Jesel, so I'm just going to go through and show you what's happened over here, and hopefully it can help you guys not end up in my situation launching valves, because it's not cool. So in the other video I showed you guys, I dropped the valve over here, as you can see, hanging out the exhaust pipe. And the top of the spring here, where the rocker's been hitting on the retainer and the locks, which essentially turns the rocker into a spring compressor, and it pops the valve. So as you can see here, I actually have two, and the reason I have two is I actually pulled the other rocker cover off and noticed that I also have a drop valve on this side. So I've actually had two rockers fail on this engine, just at Powercruise. So, and as you can see here, the pin has fallen out. I got the pin and the roller from the one that fell out on this side. The one on this side's gone down in the engine. But this is actually the third time this has happened. So out of 8 of these rockers that I bought, 3 of them have done this now. So it's not good. So let me explain. First time this happened, so I bought these rockers because they're 1.75 ratio. Originally I wanted to replace the 1.7 ratio rockers I had on the engine, because originally I had 1.75 intake, 1.7 exhaust, so I bought 1.75 exhaust rockers, just so they'd match, and put them on the engine. I did summer nats and a drift event in that car with these rockers, which is a 598 big block Chev, around 820 pounds open pressure on the springs, never used any nitrous or anything, and I had one rocker fail, the exhaust one up the back corner. So I bought a replacement rocker from Jesel, and as you can see that the design has changed, where they've now fitted a C-clip pin to the Sportsman series rockers, so the pin actually can't fall out. So that was in that car. That motor's back together now with different heads. I put the heads on this motor. I replaced that rocker that was broken with this one. Went through all the other ones, you know, checked all the bearings, everything was fine. So this engine did dyno time, 4 laps of Powercruise, and it dropped 2 valves and had 2 pin failures in that short period of time. I did the valve lash after the dyno. Everything was fine. It just seems when these pins go, they go quick. I don't know how or why. When I asked Jesel about this, they said it's not a tolerance issue or anything like that. They just said that they're not recommended for boost, which is because obviously they said that, especially in the exhaust valves, having boost in the cylinder creates more load on the exhaust rockers, which is fair enough. But in the same sort of sentence as that, they shouldn't be falling apart like this. So, and also in that motor, that thing was NA, and so these are rated for 900 foot-pounds of open spring pressure on their website, and these are around 820. So, and I only spun this thing to 7600 RPM at Powercruise, and that happened. So I wasn't revving the shit out of it or anything. Then on my phone here, so I noticed on the Jesel website it says here, designed for naturally aspirated applications. It says right here. But I found an old article here from the Sportsman Series rockers, where it says they are recommended for naturally aspirated engines. So the words changed from recommended to designed for. They changed the wording on that. Not sure why. Either way, they still say they're rated for 900 foot-pounds of open pressure, and this engine has 820, that engine had 820, and I've had 3 out of the 8 rockers I put on this thing fail. And when I replaced that one rocker, the pin's been changed. I asked why the pin was changed, and they said it was a supply issue. So they've changed from the press pin to this pin only because it's a supply issue. So that's what they've said. So at the moment, I actually asked if jesel could replace the broken rockers and fit this pin just in the exhaust rockers that I've been having the issue with. Haven't really had a positive response in that regard for that. So I've been emailing him all week. I've had 2 replies. Still waiting for another reply. Hopefully to hear something positive. Because at the moment these rockers, like, I couldn't even sell these rockers to somebody, even if I fixed some of them, because for all I know they're going to do it to the next person. So it's a bit of a pain and there's a bit of a debacle here, but that's where I'm at with this. So, like, obviously I decided to go with T&D steel rockers. I bought some, and jesel did reply about that on my last video, that they also sell steel rockers, and I could have went with them. But the only reason I didn't want to use jesel again is obviously because this happened, and you know, I just didn't want to go back there again, that's all. So, like, jesel do a lot of stuff for the, you know, performance industry and stuff, so like obviously they make good rockers and stuff. I just had an issue with these, where I thought it was a bit of a fault in these rockers. They've assured me otherwise, so I'm not going to argue with that. But yeah, so these are jesel Sportsman Series rockers, and that was my experience with them. So it's unfortunate, but if you have these rockers with the press pins, running boost or anything like that, or actually wanting to drive the thing, like 2-step, that sort of stuff, you know, I'd probably look into maybe asking jesel if they think the rockers are going to be fine for the job. Because about this whole boost thing, like, there's nothing on their website about these things not being recommended for boost nitrous. It literally just says about designed for naturally aspirated engines. So, and then afterwards when they fail, they say it's because you're using boost or you're abusing them. So yeah, so I now have 2 drop valves, 2 damaged heads. I also have possibly 2 damaged pistons, and the pin that fell down in the engine on the other motor actually got jammed between the crank and the bottom of the bore and took a chunk off the bottom of the bore. So there's a possibility that the block in this motor is damaged too. So, and there's only one person that pays for that. That's me. So don't put yourself in this situation that I'm in over some roller rockers. So hopefully this will help you guys not be in my position, because it's a pretty crappy position to be in. It's a fresh engine, it's done stuff all. I was so excited to drive the damn thing, and I got 4 laps, and then my rockers turned into spring compressors and launched 2 valves. So that's all. I just want to let everyone know about this situation that I've had here, and it's not that great, but shit happens. This is cars. Hopefully it will help someone out in the future to not get stuck in this situation that I'm in as well. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.